welcome to Knit in the City. Today I have a long episode for you. I've actually changed the place of my video making. I actually just turned around to the other end of the room because I like this cozy little reading corner. This is a very cozy armchair, so I am a lot lower than I usually am, and that's why this shelf can barely be seen. But I think that my face is more important than the shelf, hopefully. If you think I look tired today, it's because I am, and also I'm not wearing mascara. And the reason for that is that every time I put on mascara, I also put some on my eyelids. I don't mean to, of course, but I can't remember a time when this didn't happen, and I just wouldn't have that today. So here I am, naked, well, face naked, and what I am going to do today is that I am going to give you a little recap of everything that I made in 2024 using yarn and needles. And if I feel like this is going to take way too long, I will make this into a two-part series. So then I will just cut the video when I feel like this is enough. And also for downloading purposes, because if I have a video that is an hour and a half, the space on my phone is just not going to be enough. So yeah, we will see how fast I talk and how many things I have to go through and how much I feel like I need to say about all of those things. Today I am wearing the Polo sweater by Caitlin Barthold. This is knit in a wool alpaca mix. And everything I can't remember, like when I go through all of these things that I made through the year, perhaps I forgot the name of the thing or the name of the designer, then I will just put it on screen. So don't worry, all the information is going to be there, and there will also be links to all the patterns in the description box. Yes. This gray is kind of a warm gray, which I didn't realize until I got the yarn. But never mind. This is a very warm sweater. I'm in a very... Oh my goodness. There is like a snowstorm outside. I don't know if you can see. I will try and show you. I have no idea how much you could see of that, but all of a sudden there's a snowstorm outside, which is interesting. I was gonna go for a long walk today. I don't think I will. I mean, the wind goes like the snowflakes is coming like it's straight like this. It doesn't come down at all. I'm very excited. I'm not used to having snow. Sorry. Okay, yeah, so you can see that it turned really dark in here as well. Okay, to the point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the garment or the accessory. And after that, I'm also going to say something about the yarn, how things held up, how much I've worn the thing, or the person that received the thing has worn it, or not, and why not. So that's in short everything. What else? Yes, I'm also going to talk about these things in order of them being finished. So I'm going to start with the first thing I finished in the year. So the thing that I finished in January. I'm not going to tell you when I switch months. I'm just going to go through them in the order of finishing. Yes. There was one more thing I was going to say. I'm trying to do this without a script because I feel like scripting this is just gonna feel too rehearsed. So bear with me. There was one more thing. I will tell you when I remember it. So I'm just gonna dive right in. And yes, the thing I was going to tell you is that I am going to put pictures of myself wearing the things. All of the things that I made for myself, I'm going to take pictures of. There are some things that under the current circumstances I can't find I think I have pictures of all of those things. They may not all be on a body, but at least they are there. So there will be pictures of these things as well. The things that I made for my kids, I don't have pictures of all of those things when they wear them. So maybe they will only be shown on the screen like now. Okay, so the first thing that I finished in January of 2024 is the no frills cardigan that I made for my daughter. And this is the one. This is the petite knit pattern. This is a long cardigan. I made it like a little bit below her hips because she didn't want it as long as it was in the pattern. And also another thing that I modified with this is that I have made this in a 1/1 rib. So, and this is knit in a fingering weight yarn. This is the Drops Fabel sock yarn. And you can imagine that this took I think it's knit on 3mm needles. Even though this is the smallest size, it's extra small or extra small. I don't know how many sizes there are in this pattern. Yeah, she had to wait for this a while. Let's just say that. So this was not an enjoyable knit. As you can see, this is a raglan construction. But the finished results we are both very happy with, and she has been wearing this a lot. Not so much now that it's really cold because it's open on the front. And because of the ribbing, there's like quite a big gap on the front as well. But all in all, she's been wearing it a lot. She really liked it. I'm sorry about the light, but if I don't have that on, you're probably not going to be able to see my eyes. Maybe I should just hold it over here instead. But yeah, it is peeling a little bit, as you can see, but I could just take out my gleaner and fix that. I should probably do that sometime soon. I have a lot of sweaters that need de-pilling. The second thing I finished in 2024 was something I made for myself. And this is also a petite knit pattern, which is very unlike me. I haven't knit a lot of her patterns. But this is the Storm Sweater. And this is a garment that I have loved so much. I have worn it a lot. It is a very classic style sweater. And it goes in this pearl gray. It's a light gray. And I really like this gray. This is a Drops Lima yarn. I really like this gray because it's a solid color. It doesn't have those little flecks that gray yarns often have. So it's just completely even, which I love. And I wish there were more yarns like that. This is a drop shoulder construction. You start at the back, and all of these panels are made with just knits and purls. So this is an easy knit, and it's also a lot of fun because you don't have to do the same thing over and over and over for the whole sweater. Something happens regularly, and this needs to be washed now. And this is just great. It goes with trousers, skirts, dresses, anything you want. So it has gotten a lot of wear, which you can also see if you check under the arms, because it has felted a lot here. This has a double folded collar, which is really nice. It has the Italian bind off on the sleeves, on the hem, which I don't really mind anymore. I'm pretty happy. Since I figured out that it is the same thing as the Kitchener stitch, I don't have a problem with it anymore. The next one is the Porcelain Sweater. This is also knitted in a Drops yarn, or 2 Drops yarns. It is the Drops Fabel and Drops Kid Silk mohair, Kid Silk lace, whatever they call it. This is also a drop shoulder construction. I was stupid enough to not read the pattern properly, because you had some options here. You could either knit the back, knit the front, then start knitting in the round, or knit the back, pick up for the front, and then start knitting in the round. So I knit them separately and then sewed them together at the shoulder. And let me show you what it looks like when I try to sew things together. This is not pretty. I don't know how much you can see of this. I don't know. Maybe I should just get this light out of my face so you can see. Yeah, this is a wonky seam. For this one, I had to add a panel to the sleeve, because otherwise these would have been 3/4 length sleeves, and I really wouldn't have liked that. I also had to add a panel to the bottom, because otherwise it would have been cropped, and I felt like this should be like a full-length sweater. Maybe I should turn the big light on. Maybe that will help. I don't know. I don't know. It's winter. What are you gonna do? This also has the double folded collar, Italian bind off. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm not mad about it. What else? Yes, I think I mean, it's not just the pattern's fault. It's also that I think my gauge is a little bit off. I tend to have a tighter gauge than given in the pattern generally. I'm not a super tight knitter, but I'm a bit on the tight side. Yes, I didn't tell you that this is a Lena Holme Samsa pattern, but you probably already know that. Yes, the porcelain. The next garment I made was a t-shirt, actually. And this is the Luna tee. And I ventured into the realm of beiges, because this is a beige yarn. This is also a drops yarn. Bear with me, there are going to be other yarns later on. This is the drops baby merino, which is a superwash yarn, which has made me really nervous to wash this. So this hasn't been blocked, I've just worn it, because I don't want it to become gigantic. It's a little bit on the big side already, because this is supposed to be quite snug with a broken rib. This has a really nice little mock neck, and I really like these wide raglan seams that go all the way up into the neck. It ends just with a rolled hem. And this, I mean, it's not a super fun knit, but it's not as bad as you may think. This yarn, I think this is a fingering weight yarn, or maybe it's bordering on sport weight. This is probably also knit on 3mm needles, if I have to take a guess. I have worn it, not as much as I thought I would. It's a wool yarn, so you can't wear it when it's warm outside. You can, however, wear it under a cardigan, under a knit cardigan, which is really nice, and I should be doing it more. But I think I'm a bit apprehensive about the color, and I'm also scared that I will just, I mean, wearing it just makes it bigger. Well, it shouldn't be lying around it. Maybe I just put it in the washing machine. It is a superwash yarn. Let's see what happens. The next one is a pair of mitts. This is the first accessory. These are the Polymnia mitts from Sari Nordlund. And I originally made two. For some reason I can't find the second one. I mean, I think I lost it somewhere, which is really sad. I do have more of this yarn. This is not a drops yarn. This is Klara by Permin, which is a 50-50 wool and cotton yarn. I also have a beret and a shawl in this yarn, so I have a whole set, but now the set is missing one mitt. It has this really nice cable on the back of the hand, and this is from Sari's book, Softly Timeless Knits, which is really beautiful. In the book, this is like a really long mitt. It goes all the way up to the elbow crease. but I didn't have enough yarn to make them that long. So I just started after she was done with all the decreasing and just made it a smaller mitten. This is like a purplish gray or grayish purple or what have you. I'm not sure that comes across on the video. But yeah, I will find the ball of yarn that I have left and make another one again. The next thing that I finished is a pair of shorts, actually. And it is the tan shorts by Helga Isago. And these were for my youngest daughter. My oldest already had a pair that she got the year before, in 2023. These are really nice. They're knit in Sandnes Line, which is a really lovely yarn that I highly recommend. Despite its name, it doesn't have that much linen in it, but there's also cotton and viscose. And it's a very airy and breathable fabric that is lovely to wear in the summer. These shorts are knit from the top down, but you knit each leg on its own and then you sew them together here at the front and at the back. And I'm not a sewist, but I feel like these are acceptable, these seams. This was a bit of a, I mean, you really have to, it's not difficult, but you really have to pay attention while you make these shorts, because she tells you to do one thing while at the same time, after a certain number of rows, do something else, and at the same time, after a certain number of rows, do a third thing then. So, I mean, I had to use little post-its and just write down and just tally up where I was and all the things. This has a German short rows in the back to raise the back a little bit, which works perfectly. I knit these in the smallest size. I think the smallest size is an S, but I mean, since there is an elastic on the waist, these fit pretty well, even though she's tiny. And then back to the sweaters again. This is the Klara sweater by Rebecca Clow, and I have worn this so much. This is kind of cropped, which I really like. I mean, I'm really sorry about the light. There's really nothing I can do about it. Let's see if I turn the light off, what happens then? Because there's also sun from the window outside. I think this is better. No, maybe not. I don't know what's happening. I really love this pattern. You have to really think about what you're doing when you make this. I did make mistakes and I had to rip back, because if you don't, it's gonna look off. But it's really pretty when it's done. I made this in Klippans tvåtrådiga, which is a 100% wool yarn, 2-ply, sport weight. And this is a drop shoulder construction like the other two sweaters that I was talking about. And I think that this pattern is a little small in the sizing. But with where this, I mean, it's not too small. It is pretty good. This also has the double folded collar. This was an enjoyable knit, but you had to pay attention while knitting it. If I hold it like this, you can see it better. I also like that the sleeves are not, they're pretty straight and they have this wide rib at the end. I really want, I think they are somewhat tapered, and I really want to make a sweater where the sleeves are completely straight all the way down, because I really like that look. So that's going to be something for this new year. Yes, that's a Klara. I have worn it to death, which is lovely. And this yarn is not very thick, which makes it not super warm. so it's still wearable, which some of my other things are not, unless it's, oh, the snowstorm is over. Okay, the next thing is the watch mitts. And this is a pearl Soho pattern, a free pattern, which I can highly recommend because they look really nice. And the thumb increases are done on both sides of the mitt, which gives it this really nice line. And this is a tutu rib. I knit this in Järbo fin mohair silk, which is a thin silk mohair, obviously, and Filcolana Pernilla, which is 100% wool yarn, if I'm not mistaken, held together. I made a set, because this was the last part of the set, because I have a Sophie scarf in the Pernilla yarn, just the Pernilla, no fuzz, and then I have an Oslo hat with the same silk mohair, and Järbo, their thin sock yarn, Junior Raggi, it's called. The Oslo hat is very small. I did wear it a lot to try and stretch it out, but I failed. So I gave it to my daughter, my oldest. And then I thought, what am I going to do with the scarf and the mitts that don't have the matching hat, and I don't have more of the yarn? So I gave them to her as well, both the scarf and the mitts. So these are now hers. She has temporarily lost one of the mitts, but I'm sure I will find it somewhere around the house because it's kind of messy right now. Yes. The leftovers of the mohair silk, with the leftovers from the mohair silk, I made a Dalia Bow, and the name of the designer will be on the screen. And this is also for my oldest daughter because she has really long hair. To be honest, she hasn't been wearing this. The mitts she's been wearing a lot. She has not been wearing this. But I mean, this is kind of fiddly. You have to tie it around a ponytail or something. And she usually wears her hair down as well. But this is a free pattern. It's cute. It's fun. It's great with it's a great thing to make with leftover mohair. Yes. And the next thing I made, I don't have it here, and this is the retro button dress from Witre design. And this is actually a UFO at this moment, because I did finish making the dress, but, and I wore it as well a few times, and then I had to wash it. I threw it in the washing machine. This is a cotton yarn. There is some linen viscose in it as well. It did shrink up because these fibers do shrink up. Not so much that it was too small, but what happened was that the straps were already a bit tight, so that it kind of itched my armpit. And with the shrinking, it just really cut in. So I had to remove all of the edgings around the arms, around the neck. I had to unpick the seam and knit the straps longer, sew up the seams, and after that I didn't feel like picking up all the stitches and making the trims again. So this is now lying around in a corner at the house, feeling shameful, and that's why it's not here. But I did make a dress last year, so I still wanted to say something about it. I made it in drops Belle, which is mostly cotton, some viscose, and some linen. It's very similar to the Sandnes Line, both in its fiber content and the thickness of the yarn. The next one is a sweater called a mousseau, and this is a pattern from someone. Espace Tricot, yes. This is a free pattern. And I made this for my daughter, my oldest one. And she requested a sweater that was cropped, very cropped, over the bust. And she's obviously wearing something underneath this. This has, and also with bell sleeves. I'm not sure, I don't think that the original pattern has bell sleeves. I think that they're wide sleeves that you then decrease at the end so that they're kind of, they get this round shape. It has an I-cord edging. The neck is just rolled. And this is a round yoke construction. This is also rolled. I started making this a 1-1 rib edging, but it didn't look good, so I ripped it out and just made a rolled hem. I have blocked this down because before it rolled all the way up here, so now it's behaving itself a little bit better. This is Drops Fabel that I have held double. I think I did all the increases for the yoke and then put the stitches for the sleeves on hold, and then I just knit the tiniest bit on the body. But I think I shouldn't have, and I made it the smallest size, and I think I shouldn't have made all of the increases for the yoke because this is a little bit big. It like flops when she's wearing it. It's like this. It ruffles in a way. So there is too much fabric for this to be perfect. I mean, I can actually wear this, so yeah. But she still wears it a lot, as you can see, because it has started to pill. Even her little sister has worn it at some point. So, so this has gotten a lot of wear. All right, and now we're back to the tan family. This is Helga Isaga's tan top, which is a bit easier to make than the shorts. This is Big Sister's top. I really like this V-neck. I mean, these are fun to knit, actually. And I think the shorts were fun to knit as well, but you have to be in the right mood where you want to be concentrating on your knitting. This is knit from the top down, I think, because this was a long time. Maybe it's knit from the bottom up. I will figure it out and put it on the screen. And it has these nice rib details on the sides. Yeah. And this is also knit in Sandnes Line, and I think that this is the shit, I think this is called. This color is called. It's a very nice color. It's like a whitish, beigeish, grayish. I mean, it's very close to white. It's more white than beige. And she has been wearing this quite a lot, actually, and she's not only wearing it with the shorts, she's also wearing it with skirts and trousers and things like that. And like I said before, this is a great summer yarn because it's thin, it's fingering weight, and it just makes such an airy, drapey fabric that lets the breeze through. And from the leftovers of the tan set, I mean, it's crazy how little yarn it takes. And this is also the smallest size, S or XS, I'm not sure. How little yarn it takes to make these. The whole set, I think I used 4 balls of yarn for the whole set. And these are 50-gram balls. So with some of the leftovers, I made this Penelope kerchief, and this is 2 strands held together. And this is also for my oldest to wear with the set if she likes, or with whatever she wants. And this was a quick little knit with this cute little lace pattern down the middle. And I really like these straps that you can just tie around your head. And it's nice that they are thin because it's easier. This is an I-cord, by the way. So you knit the whole kerchief and then you make the I-cord and then pick up stitches and do I-cord here, and yeah, just finish with the I-cord at this end. Yeah. And after that is the second tan top to go with little sister's shorts. And this is pretty much the same. It's the same yarn and it's the same pattern, and not much to say about that. Yeah, she has also been wearing this quite a lot, and also with other things than the shorts. Yeah. We're into summer now, I can tell. The next garment is the Darjeeling blouse. And I had been so excited to cast this on. And I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. I mean, these are really pretty. The edgings. And I mean, the whole thing is really pretty. I made a mistake. I think I made a size too small. So it is a little bit tight, which I don't like, and which is, of course, all my fault. This is like 100% cotton yarn, sport weight. This is like a crochet cotton, like your standard crochet cotton yarn that I bought from like just a grocery store many years ago. But I had 300 gram balls of this, and I thought it was perfect for this design. I really love the saddle shoulder construction. It's just so pretty. You can see it on the back as well. But what I really don't like is that it has an I-cord all the way around, which is super pretty. But even after blocking this aggressively, it just rolls. So, I mean, look, the whole thing. It just rolls so much. And you can't even see the buttons because it has rolled so much. And because I made this a little bit on the small side, it is super difficult to button. It's not super difficult, but also the buttonholes, and this is also my fault. The buttonholes are too big for the buttons, so they just slip out. And I was going to fix that, but then autumn came and I had more fun things to do, so that hasn't happened yet. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't worn it much, to be honest. Next one is also a summer knit, and this is the retro button top, much like the dress. And this is knit in Sandnes Line, which is the big sister to the tynn line. This is I think it's a worsted weight. Also a lovely yarn, not as cooling as her little sister, of course. But still, I'm really pleased with this one. And it was supposed to be knit back and forth, and with a button band that you could open. But I decided to knit it in the round, because that's what you do with the dress. And then just make a... Sorry, I was interrupted there. Yeah, so I just knit this in the round. I picked up the button band. And this is knit in moss stitch. I will show you up close. And yeah, I did like, I don't know, 3 or 4 stitches here in moss stitch when I knitted in the round, and then picked up for the button band and put these cute little wooden buttons on it. This is quite cropped. I probably, and I mean, it was supposed to be cropped, and I wanted it to be cropped. But maybe I would have added like 2 centimeters if I was to make it again. But this is a really lovely summer tank. I have actually decided to make this a 2-part thing. So this will be the end of this episode, the first one, the one that goes from January to June, which is half of the year, so that is perfect. I think I have talked about 18 things in this one, and I think there are going to be 21 things left for the next episode, and I hope they will be pretty much equal in length. But I mean, the introduction is not going to have to be as long for the next episode. So hopefully they will land at about the same time. Thank you so much for bearing with me and watching all the way through to the halfway point. And I really hope to see you in the next part. Have a nice day. Bye bye.